Hi, everyone. Let's start with me. This is myself making funny faces. I originally come from Austria, live in Sweden nowadays. In my day job, I don't work. I study international migration. And I'm coming from tech enthusiasm and like the hacker scene. And so this is how I landed with copyright somehow. To be more precise, I landed at Young Pirates of Europe, which is a federation of 7 European digital rights organizations that are working with young people. Some of them are affiliated with pirate parties, some of them are not. And so we were sitting together last year thinking what could we do this year, thinking about projects that would be interesting, and figured out that this year is also the year that copyright reform is happening in the EU, and we should do something about that. And what we did is we wanted to start a program where we ask young people, what is actually your problem with copyright in your everyday life? Start them, get them thinking about these issues, and then coming up with proposals and building a campaign around it. And for that, we have, thankfully with the support of the Council of Europe, made a series of events that started in Tallinn. And so we were sitting around with young people and talked about copyright with them. And some of them are actually here in the audience. And so we had 20 young people and figured out that okay, I have to skip a couple of the pictures, even though they're very nice, and especially for me, it's very reminiscent. So we came up with this position paper, and of course you can't read it like that, but the first point was territoriality. Young people of Europe believe that there is no good reason why we have territorial copyright anymore. The internet is borderless, and while it might be hard to introduce one single global copyright, at least the European Union is in the position to achieve it for their member states and should take this opportunity. One of the big problems that young people are dealing with is geo-blocking. Many of them go abroad, study abroad, or have friends in other countries and want to access cultural works from other countries and are unable to do so in a legal way. This should be fixed. Same goes for fair use. There are many ways how young people use cultural works nowadays that haven't been foreseen and therefore are in a legal gray area that should be replaced by a statement that says, yes, you are allowed to live your culture the way you are intending it to. Same goes for content filtering. We don't think that content filtering is a good idea, especially not automated. But if voluntarily platforms implement something like that, at least there should be a safeguard, whether it's a technical measure or something else that makes sure that the right of the user is respected, that the exceptions from copyright are respected, and that people are able to do those things they are actually allowed to and aren't blocked. Remix culture was also a very important point. Young people do remixes all of the time, whether it is GIFs that they send around between people or memes that they create. They should be able to do so. Open access, I'm going to skip a couple of points. No, it's the second to last, and I'm going to stick with it. Open access is also very important. There should be a broad educational exception that allows young people, for whatever reason they are interested to learn something, actually also use the content of the internet and other materials to learn the things that they want to learn. Because they are, after all, our future. That's what everyone says all of the time. And we also sprinkled over that the ancillary right for press publishers is a bad idea. And so with this position paper in mind, we made ourselves on a road and tried to figure out how can we disseminate those things and how can we make sure that decision makers are hearing us and are hearing the voice of the European youth. And we're still in the progress of figuring that out, but at least we had more funny events with more funny people and more funny pictures. And so this time it was even more people thinking about how we can disseminate those things. We were getting some input, for example, from librarians. We were discussing the things together. We were eating popcorn and watching movies that were definitely not pirated. And made some fires, and we built this website. There's our tech team sitting around. And so now we have this, and where we want to, where we have listed all of the information about our campaign, and where you can sign up for a newsletter. And in the next step, we want to take all of the people that we have gathered, both on the website, but also in real life at our events, to call their MEPs, to get active in their member states, to lobby their governments to do the right thing for the future. And yes, join the Copyfight. If you have any questions, please approach me during the break or something, or send me an email, or get in touch on Twitter. I am glad to talk about anything for a longer time than 10 minutes. Thank you.